Hi everyone, welcome back. I am going to be opening up and creating with the Spellbinders Advent Calendar for this year. I'm going to do much better than I did last year with this. Last year I was in the middle of a move, a cross-country move, so I just did not have time to open up live and play with this live. So I'm going to do that this year. We're actually going to open up quite a few boxes each week. And so I think today I'm going to open up boxes 1 through 5, so days 1 through 5. So if you are a little behind on this, if you have it, or you don't want a spoiler, then go ahead and skip this video. But this should be coming out on December 5th. So I am just gonna be opening up the first 5 boxes. So if you're on schedule, you shouldn't have a spoiler. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. It's so cute. I love how they designed it this year. We're gonna go ahead, it's just like a traditional advent calendar, if you will, except for there is craft supplies instead of chocolate or whatever else you do for an advent calendar. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up, and then I'm gonna get inspired with what's in the first 5 boxes, and let's create with what's inside. Okay, so excited. Let's find number 1. Okay, here's number 1. Let me zoom out just a little bit, but I don't wanna get too far out to where you see my messy craft room right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here is number 1. And if it's kind of like last year, there are little kind of previews on the doors, which that seems to be the case this time. So we have some cutting dies, and it looks like it's a little hot air balloon. Let me bring that up so that you can kind of get a preview of what that's going to be. It has a little hello banner. Very cute. It also mentions that it's shown at 40%. Okay, I'm gonna let that kind of dangle open because that kind of helps me to locate the other boxes. Okay, and again, these are all of different sizes and shapes, so that's kind of indicative of what's inside. So number 2 for day 2, and you can do it the traditional way and open these up, you know, one day at a time, but for the sake of inspiring you through video, I'm going to open up, oh, that's gorgeous. I love it already. I'm going to open these up in multiple day chunks. Okay, so we have a stamp. Oh, that's pretty. And this one says, hello friend. So far what I'm noting, and I think this was the case, I'm noting that not all of these are going to be super holiday related, which is really refreshing too, because you can use these all year round. But that is gorgeous. So hello friend, we also have the hot air balloon. Okay, 1, 2, 3 is up here. So we have kind of a long and skinny one. And what's inside? Ooh, more dies. Oh, what was our little hint? Oh, we have some flowers. Very cute. Okay, so more of a floral theme cutting die there. Oh, I like how they have the number out there as well. Oop, they're starting to fall out. Let me pop those right back in there so we don't lose them. Okay, so they are what is in day 3. Okay, number 4 is right over here. Even more cutting dies. Looks like we have some sort of banner. What is this going to show us? Oh, that's pretty. Hello friend, happy birthday, thank you so much. Let me hold that up so you can see that even better. There we go. Okay. I love a banner. Those are really fun. Fun way to add some movement to your card as well. I guess I will kind of plop those back down so that it stays a little organized. Okay, and then finally we have day 5 for this series of video. Oh, we have like a little loopy loop. Okay, so lots of cutting dies the first handful of days. Here is a little fun cutting die. So those were the first 5 little openings. And again, we have a hot air balloon, we have a stamp set, we also have a little floral die set, a banner set, and then we have these little loops, which are really fun too. Okay, I'm gonna get some, I'm just gonna sit here and ponder for a minute and see which direction that I want to go. Now, I'm not gonna use every single thing. I'll probably pick one to create with, but I wanted to show you all of the products from the first 5 days. That way you can see which one you might want to create with. Okay, so it was extremely hard to decide what to use because there were a lot of goodies within the first few days, but I can't use every single one on one card because to me that would just be kind of a hot mess. So I'm going to choose one. I really like this Hello Friend. I think it's really pretty. What I like about it too is it's very universal, which most of the things, if not all, in this box should be, because they want them to last year round. Okay, so this is pretty. I love it. It reminds me of a card that I did, gosh, one of my very first cards. I think I gave it to somebody, in fact. It's so pretty. But I want to, I'll link that card so you can see it. Something like this though, where I don't have a coordinating die and I don't want to cut this out, I'm gonna have fun with doing a really flat card that has very minimal cutting, if any at all. So what I thought I would do is, first I'm gonna trim this panel down. So I have just a white 80-pound cardstock. It's my favorite. I'll link it below. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is traditional A2 size. But I'm gonna grab a mini trimmer and let's trim this down further. Oh, sorry, my Sawgrass, my sublimation printer is self-cleaning. Keeping the ink going. Sometimes it kind of kicks on. Okay, so let's trim that down to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, now what I want to do, let's throw that away. I think I'm going to heat emboss. All right, so I'm gonna actually do it this way. And I want to do something to where, gosh, how do I want to do that? Do I want to go this way? That could be actually super pretty. Let's do that. So maybe I will go this way. Okay, I'm just gonna do it differently, but we're gonna kind of switch gears here. I'm gonna have that come down a little bit. I might have to further trim down my card once I figure out exactly what I'm gonna do here, but actually let's nuzzle that in. Let's bring this up a little bit. I think that looks good. At least that's where we're going to start. In fact, I want to bring this over a little bit and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna go ahead and close that, cling my stamps, and because they're new to me, I'm going to condition them. And then let's grab some anti-static powder, sorry. Had to think for a second. I'm gonna neutralize my paper and then grab my Versamark. Okay, and with my Versamark, this is gonna be hard to see because I'm doing this on white. I'm gonna do white ink or white embossing powder on white paper, but then we're gonna do some ink blending and I think it'll look really fun. So the design is gonna come to life a little bit later in the story here. For now, it's all going to be very invisible. Okay, so I'm gonna double, if not triple, stamp that just to make sure, especially since I can't see it too incredibly well. I just want to make sure that I have it all stamped down. Oh yeah, that looks really good, but I'm just going to be sure, just because it's not on like a colored paper where I can really tell that I got a good impression, but I think I did. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think we are great. Okay, it's hard to see. Well, can I even like, yeah, you can't see it. That's okay. Just trust the process. I think it's gonna be cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove my panel. I'll come back for my stamps and clean them later. But I want to also grab a catch paper and I'm going to use a fine detail white embossing powder. So I'm just going to pour it right over that area that has my stamps and the ink. I let that set for just a moment. Okay, so can you see? Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just recoat that once more. Okay, there is our design. All right, let's funnel the rest of this right back in. And then I'm gonna heat up my heat tool extremely hot. I wait till it's very, very hot, and then I will melt this powder. Okay, so now, again, still hard to see because it's white on white, but it's shiny now. Okay, so the powder has been melted and now it has that nice embossed look. Okay, so don't freak out that you can't see it because it's okay. It's gonna be really neat. Now what I want to do is I'm gonna tape this down to my mat first and foremost. And then I'm gonna mask off some of my design. Also, I'm going to wipe my paper off from the powder, the anti-static powder that we prepped our paper with. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab some mask tape and then we're gonna mask off an ink blend. Okay, and I'm thinking what I want to do is something kind of small and rectangular. And the reason I wanted to, let's start this way. I have to think this through. And I might pull this back up. I'm just trying to think what I want to do for some dimensions here. If I do that, okay, I have it. Oops, sorry about my messy hair. Okay. And then if I do it like that, and I don't really have exact measurements here for you, but what I was thinking would be neat is that on this side, kind of cropping the design off a little bit. So like cutting off just a little bit of the design so it's falling off, but in real life you can still see it. It just won't have ink on it. That. Okay, hopefully I have a nice kind of, well, it's not a square, but just barely not a square. Okay, I'm gonna press these edges down really well. And I pulled sea glass for my color here. So I'm gonna grab my blending brush and then we'll blend this onto our design here and see the design come through. So now is where we're gonna actually be able to see it. I'm just cleaning off my blending brush. I'm pretty sure the last color I used on here was probably sea glass, but in case it wasn't, I just wanna make sure that my color stays nice and accurate. And I'm going to tap off a little bit of the color. That way when I go to blend, it's not like fresh ink and it won't get blotchy. So I'm kind of muting it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start kind of at the corner. And now you're gonna see the design come to life. And these are just some kind of fun things that I like to do when I don't have the dies, because you can still have fun with the design, but then not have to worry about cutting it out. And to me, this is a stamp set that would be just a tad tricky to me to cut out, but I'm not a fan of fussy cutting at all. When I buy a stamp set, I really like the coordinating dies because they just work so much better for me. Okay, and then do you see how on that left side, I went through and just kind of cropped it out a little bit. But then when I peel the tape off, the recipient of the card will still see, I mean, not as clearly as they will in the middle, but they'll still see the edges white on white, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense, but okay, let me go ahead and just kind of blend this out just a little bit more. And again, this is such a versatile card. So even though it's December and we're opening up our Christmas box, this is not necessarily a Christmas card. It's an anytime, any occasion card. Okay, and that ink will further smooth out and blend itself out. So if it's looking a little bit uneven, this ink blends and smooths as it dries. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I like how that looks. And then I'm gonna begin peeling the tape. There's one side. Oh, that looks so neat. Okay. And then fun. Okay. So simple. I love that. Now I'm just removing my tape so that I can see the whole card. Now, I don't know if you can tell on the sides, but you can kind of see where that design continues. It's really neat, but it's not colored in. Do you kind of see that? You can really tell in person. It's really, really neat in person. It's hard with the lights. There you go. Okay, so there is our panel. Very cute. Now I just need to decide, excuse me, I think I will do a white card base because I want the focus to stay here and I want to keep this very clean. So let me cut a card base down and then we'll continue with adding just some final embellishments to dress it up. Okay, so here is my scoreboard. And then I have 110-pound cardstock, 11 by 4 1/4. And if we take 11 and divide it into 2, we are left with 5 1/2. So that's where I'm going to place my score line. I can fold and press that edge. All right, let's grab some foam tape. That way, especially because everything's so flat right now, right? I'm gonna bump that up just a little bit since we have 0 dimension so far on this card. And especially when heat embossing, foam tape can also help. This didn't warp too badly, but if your cardstock is kind of curling from the heat, then this foam tape is a wonderful way to strengthen it again and straighten it back up. All right, and then I'm just gonna grab all of these little liners. And try not to stick my fingers with the panel onto the card. Okay, so simple. I love that. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a gold. Originally I was thinking of maybe doing a clear dewdrop, but we need to dress this up just a little bit and I think gold is gonna be gorgeous. So we just, oh yeah, that's absolutely the choice. Sometimes I like to sprinkle it over my card just to make sure that I do like it. Okay, let's do, I'm going to do a little trio here and I want to, you know, kind of run off of the inside panel onto the outer white edge just to bring it all together. Make sure it's all included. Whoops. There we go. And then I'll do the same up here. I'm just going to do a duo, but make sure that I kind of run off a little bit there. And I'm going to use the medium and small. So we have 1, 2, and then we have our trio here. And I love how just simple yet striking this card turned out. Very easy to do. Another way just to use some of those stamp sets that don't necessarily have the coordinating dies. But pretty. It's very simple. I love how this kind of hugs that little point of the leaves right there. Just looks really pretty. All right, I'm gonna flip this right on over to the back side of my card. Grab some black ink and my personalized stamp, and then add that right to the back. All right, and there we are. I love this card because to me, I feel like, okay, I'm exactly at 21.5 minutes. That's the quickest card I've made in a good long while. And this is a beautiful reminder to me that not every card needs to be so long and detailed, that things can be equally just simple and beautiful. So don't forget of the other little techniques that you can do to bring all of these images to life. I think this turned out really beautifully, and I love this. I think it's fun. And I had fun with doing the little mask there. I'm sorry you can't appreciate that too incredibly much on camera, but it's super fun in and of itself. All right, everyone. I am going to be back in exactly 1 week. I'm going to do these on Thursdays throughout December, opening up the Spellbinders Advent Calendar. So I'll see you Saturday for a Christmas video, and then I'll see you next Tuesday for a card video, but then next Thursday, I'll be back opening up the next few days and we'll create another card. All right, be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and go down into the description box to see a list of everything I used to bring this card together. See you next week.